And that's what they needed out of Dylan, and he's definitely showing.
Absolutely. I mean, again, we've talked about him a lot, but we need to move on because we have Gen.G, of course, doing well, Nameless, but at the same time, they haven't had the hardest matchups.
Yeah, you know, they had one of the easier pools, and you know, they make quick work of that. They have like 3 players in the top 15 for AKD, everybody going off. Major Maniac having an outstanding performance thus far with a 1.76 AKD, which absurd. That's absurd, right? And then you got Envoy up there as well, whereas, you know, previously with your last roster, Spacey was like a consistent 0.9, you know, running around the map, doing what he needed to do, but you have Envoy putting in that extra work, getting those extra kills and alleviating that pressure for the rest of these guys, and they make quick work of their pull, which is sort of what you expect. But like we said, they did have one of the easier pools, and going into bracket play, they have an extremely tough matchup in Luminosity, the team that beat them at the very last tournament at Las Vegas. I'm excited to see if these guys can do what they did against some of those lesser teams in their group in bracket play in a tough match.
Prove you can do it against the hard teams, too.
Exactly.
If he can keep up that pace, no one can keep up a 1.76 throughout the entire tournament. That's insane. But the fact that they have 3 players in the top 15 means it's being spread around the team. Like, their teamwork's still there, even though they released space from the team. Envoys picked up right where they left off. It looks really good. We just gotta see if they can do it against top-tier talent.
All right, and that is, of course, winner's bracket talk, but let's go to our loser's bracket where we have some very, very big names, Pac-Man, like Optic Gaming.
Who would have ever expected this? Like, Reciprocity being in winner's bracket and Optic being in loser's bracket, it's an impossible prediction. They did not look that good yesterday, but we all know that if they go on those runs, they can win. Like, they're still here to win this tournament.
I mean, it's there. It's possible. We need to see it.
We've seen it before in the past.
For Optic Gaming, like, what you need is you need TJ and Scump to step up. Like, both of them were lackluster yesterday, and right now in the current meta, your Sogs need to be really good. Like, at every tournament, the Sogs need to be on point. Those are your entry fraggers, and we're seeing teams when they pick up a good Sog, like Dylan, like Priesta, it makes that team that much better because they're getting those entries, they're baiting for you, and it's making everybody look a lot better. So, on the side of Optic Gaming, they need to get they need those 2 players to play a lot better.
What's kind of going on with TJ? He's not had the best.
I'm just guessing, you know, Dashy just got back, you know, switching a couple roles here and there. Obviously, they're just basically getting all their repetitions in. You know, they had the pre-land and everything, but just overall, you could just tell a 0.4 S&D KD out of TJ Halley is unacceptable.
There's no excuse.
He's been always one of the greatest S&D players.
Has won more championships over this last year than any other player.
Yeah.
He's been a superstar searcher player, and he has a 0.42. That's something that nobody has ever seen. He's gonna step it up today. He just has to. They're gonna be better today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know they have the potential, but also 100 Thieves has shown us
that's
a lot of improvement. Of course, they ended yesterday 2-1, but they still do find themselves nameless in the
Yeah, you got your number 1 and 2 seeds from their division playing each other first round here in the losers bracket. That's absolutely insane. You know, United coming out of that pool of death and 100 Thieves losing that 3-way tie, going 2-1. It's kind of a tough situation to be in, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And what we've been talking about for 100 Thieves was how are they gonna be able to rise above when they have that first test, right? When they're in that bad situation. And this is where it is. They're in losers round 1. You can make a run if you catch fire, and they're a team who can do it, but you got a really tough matchup on them.
Player for me, just in general, this is 100 Thieves rosters. Just obviously Priesta is doing what he has to do, but Kenny for me yesterday was unbelievable.
He stepped
He's been
up.
getting a lot of shade thrown at him, but yesterday he had a 1.34, and that is something that we remember from last year. MVP Kenny, All-Star Player of the Year. He knows what he needs to do, and finally he's getting comfortable, and it's definitely showing.
All right, let's pull up our schedule, see how we're kicking things off here on Saturday at Fort Worth. It's gonna be Gen.G and LG kicking things off, and as Nameless, as you said, you know, LG did previously beat them.
Yeah, LG, you know, they didn't have the best pool play showing. They went 7-5 map count, and you know, really the only game mode that they were great at was Control. They went 3-0, and that was on the back of Gunless having an insane performance throughout yesterday. He had a 1.25 KD, pretty much leading the team. And you know, going into this series, I think you need Classic to step up. I think he needs to play really good. And also John. We haven't really talked too much about John throughout this game, and it's because he hasn't been that great. We're used to MVP John. We haven't seen him yet, so I'm waiting for them to wake up and, you know, step to the table and help these guys out.
For me, they have to find some consistency in Hardpoint.
Yeah.
We've seen some abysmal losses from them. It seems like they're slow on rotations. They need to get ahead of that if they're going to beat a team like Gen.G.
Well, and Study, this is kind of one of the storylines we've talked about through PLQ and through the first part of Pro League, is that we always say, look at how well Gunless is doing, but where is everyone else?
Yeah, that's definitely what it is. Yesterday, Gunless had a 1.3. Everyone else is sitting under a 1.0. That is unacceptable. It means the teamwork is just not there. Communication is probably lackluster. Just things weren't going right for them, and hopefully today they're able to turn it around.
They're a bracket team.
Yeah.
That's just what Luminosity is, right? Like last tournament, we didn't think they were that good, then they made that run and got top 4. This is a team, if they catch fire, they can make it all the way to a final.
All right, well, enough of us. Your desk is done. We are ready to kick things off. We are going to send it over to our casters, Ben and Chance.
Thank you very much, Katie. Thank you very much to the desk. I'm super excited to kick things off with this matchup. Chance, the reason why is this is one of the series that everyone in the green room, all of the talent, everyone is split on. We don't know convincingly who is going to come out on top.
I do.
Well, we do.
We definitely know who's
we
going to come out on top.
But a lot of different people have other opinions, because we're both kind of on the side here of Gen.G. Everyone else, or other people I should say, looking more towards LG. But in terms of the series, the way it's going to break down, here's a look at the maps and modes. Is this favorable for either team?
I think the way you should start this conversation out is by pointing out that in this series, these teams have actually matched up twice.
Okay.
Right now, it's 3-1 in Hardpoint for Luminosity, 3-1 in Search and Destroy for Gen.G, kind of as expected, and then, well, the control flip-flop, just 1-1. So those are the 2 times they've played, but recently, you got to keep in mind, LG's Hardpoint has been awful, right? Like 4-9 in the Pro League. It was not very good yesterday either. I think Classic and John way at the bottom of the leaderboards in terms of KD for Hardpoint. But at the same time, the specific maps we have are actually really good for LG. So that's the follow. Frequency Hardpoint, they have played in both the series. Both times LG has won by more than 100 points.
Okay, but then you add, to your point, game modes not exactly been the best Hardpoint team in the world. Well, I guess the answer is inconclusive. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have about 45 minutes to an hour to find out which team is going to come out on top. As it stands, Gen.G in the hill. Hardpoint currently going to be contested. Daggerfan finds one, looking for more. Not going to be able to succeed. And LG will start to earn themselves a little bit of an early lead.
About as good as it could get right off the opening break. Rack up some time. You got all your bases covered mid-map. And, well, it's going to be everyone from Gen.G just trying to fly up the side, but a couple players even fly off the map. Probably playing a little bit of bumper cars, and you can already see that, well, it's going to be Gen.G guys spawning at the wrong side of the map. LG, they have all the time in the world to make this rotation.
Yeah, nice guy Gunless. He saw Havoc fall off the map. He said, don't worry, I'll even the man count. He fell off as well. But LG, 79 and growing to 0 for Gen.G. And the spawns now are going to be so important. And you can see Mark's trying to do a good job just locking down the new spawn, but he has a player flanking as well. So realistically, this is a tough spot that he finds himself in. Shot from left, right, behind, and in front finally falls. And for LG, this rotation just made it a little bit easier.
Well, it's going to come down to a couple gunfights in the back. Slack is going to fall, but they at least have to stay alive, which no one's going to do. It's Gunless in the front. He's got a teammate with him, but of course the spawns do not go their way. And well, that means Gen.G can just pour the pressure into the hill, and Gunless is doing his best, trying to wait for his teammates to show up, and Slack at least able to find one. And now you see the Gen.G players. 2 players have to go and try to fight for these back spawns, but LG, annoying enough, they lock down the back, they're able to get inside the hill, and they get the break.
And Chance, one of the things you said is you needed a better performance today from John. He was a little bit of a letdown yesterday, and that's exactly what you're getting. A 6-2 start from him. Electric off the start. And showing in the scoreboard overall as Luminosity now a pretty sizable lead after 2 hills. 48-19, the final 15 seconds of scrap should go to LG. I'd be surprised to see Gen.G push this, and Havoc will concede. May just play for an exit kill. Slack thinking about that rotation. No, Havoc doesn't want to give it up at all, but Slack will say thank you very much, a freebie by his standards. And now you draw your attention to the minimap once again, the rotation. Won by Gen.G, but they need a good hold here, Chance.
And you also need players to start heating up, right? Major Maniac 0-5 at the moment, and he's the player that leads the entire tournament in terms of AKD. He's the #1 in respawn KD. He's #1 for everything, Ben, but if you don't get any kills, it's gonna make things very difficult. But finally, he's able to get on board, and well, you can see why. All these gunfights, easy for Gen.G. You post up in the back of the map, you wait for the rotations to come in, and well, again, I think players are just playing bumper cars right now, falling off the map.
Yeah, it was a double. Almost took himself down there as well. But as so often happens on Frequency, the rotation from the 2nd hill to the 3rd hill, it's almost a you get a 60, I get a 60, and that's been the case here. As Gen.G lock it down. 18 seconds of scrap, but LG not going to give it up just yet as they attack from the balcony side. Mark's still in the hill. Time to heal, and final scrap. Good for Gen.G, and we'll have a lead change. Gen.G back in control.
And this is Gen.G just pouring on the pressure. 3 players for LG right now are going to be inside of pipes. Nagafen with the shot punch, well, doesn't connect on the second guy, so Slack is able to find himself a handful of kills. And well, they do get that early control. Of course, a couple players from Gen.G kind of roaming around mid-map, and looks like they're going to take their time and go for the group push. They want all 5 players surging at the exact same time, and well, the timing is here. You got the grapple gun coming over top. Formal's going to be the guy in the hill, and well, those are just easy kills for him to get. 4-man wipe for LG, retaking the lead, trying to extend it as much as possible. And well, Gen.G, they're going to have a crack #2 at the hill. Didn't go so great the first time. Of course, body stacked up, and now you can see a couple kills start to go their way. They take Formal out of the power position. They make their move. They break on through. And Ben, if you think we might have a back and forth game, it's looking good so far.
Yeah, you'd be absolutely right. So far, so good. The final 15 should be good for LG as the rotation starts to come through, 10 seconds or so, but a team kill comes through. Major Maniac will pull. What else is he going to be able to find? Envoy with 1, Envoy with 2, almost a 3.
You got the grab slam as well. If things get a little bit dicey, and dicey they got. Mox just slides out in front. Havoc, no shame in killing his teammates there, which means he needs to, well, make up for the team kill, pick up a couple kills inside of the hill, and has 2 players in front of him. Beat downs left and right. He actually does get the trade, finds Slack before he falls. For the moment, Gen.G able to hold on, trying to fight back and have the 5th or 6th lead change potentially that we've seen.
Now bear in mind, Slack does have grab slam, and there's the grapple. He may just invest it and, well, gets 1. Team kill comes through as Gunless rattles off the War Machine from behind, but Gen.G should be pretty happy with that because after the dust settles, they're still going to control the hill.
And it's little things like that, that LG, they have been plagued with mistakes since the Pro League, of just bad communication, just players running out in front of Gunless's War Machine, or maybe Gunless should just stop firing it when his players call out that they're going for the grab slam inside the hill. So that is 2 pretty big boy specialists down. And again, Gen.G, they'll take the lead.
And now you have a situation where Envoy, the new addition to Gen.G, 55 points away from streaks. Has a Maddox and a Sorg. Late to rotation, be the last one there. So getting the plus 50 points may actually, well, it could be an option, but no. Nagafen slides on in, so he's gonna have to win the gunfight. And ask and you shall receive. Beams Formal, there's 2. 2 streaks for the new man.
And it was pointed out at the very start. These teams have faced each other twice on the year, but when Spacely was on the roster, both times on this map, LG wins by more than 100 points. What do they pick up Envoy for? They need more slaying power.
Yeah.
What is he doing right now? Leading the lobby in slaying, 18 kills to his name, and the streaks to boot. Of course, though, LG pouring in the front. It is going to be Envoy trying to go for the attack. He's able to find 2, but LG doing a decent job holding from up top.
But this is very similar to what we had in the first rotation, right?
Yes.
LG were able to lock down the second hill, but it was the rotation where Gen.G responded with almost a full 60 of their own. They still have Envoy at almost double positive, by the way, 21 and 11 with a lightning strike in his back pocket. But this time, though, you can see what's happened on the minimap. For Gen.G, they push late, they play for scrap, and it could cost them because LG is ready and waiting on the new hardpoint.
Lightning strike gets invested, does not find anyone in the back, but of course that means you can't pour up this elbow side. It's going to be 3 players from Gen.G that get in. The contest is here, but 2 players fall. They go for the slide and potentially trying to take Gunless down. He's only able to find 1. Nagafen pulls out the Tempest. You get the clearance kills. You use a specialist. You get the break, and more importantly, he's working on some score streaks of his own.
Yeah, and that's going to be important here. He's able to earn those for the rotation over towards pipes. You'd really have Gen.G looking in a good position to close out map number 1. Still 30 seconds left on this hill. As it stands, Gen.G about to hit the 150 point mark. LG at 136 as Nagafen still being a nuisance here with the Tempest. 65 points. All he's going to need, 1 player from mid-window. If he hits the temper shot, it will be enough. Hardpoint still gets contested. Turns to the left. There's the lightning. Can he seal the deal? Get himself fully streaked out with a Hellstorm as well. With just 10 seconds left, 25 points, all he needs.
He's hanging out. Of course, he can always call on the lightning strike for next because it looks like his teammates are getting a little bit of split. Havoc, though, is able to find 2, so maybe doesn't even need to use the lightning strike to break the hill because Major Maniac, he's going to be there by himself. He's trying to lock down pipes because, of course, they knew that LG was going to spawn in the back. And, well, Major Maniac wants to use the War Machine to make it happen. Players coming from up front, the flak jacket there, but he is able to find 2, though he does get dropped. But the kill feed, nothing but Gen.G. Last player in the hill is Formal. He's going to fall. 40-point lead, and we're going to get more.
And Gen.G have just played the rotation so well, and they're going to pick up a lot of this time. And if you're LG, you're left with a difficult decision. Do you go for that push? You're almost forced to and really continuously push, despite the fact that there is so much time still left on the hill. You still need to win the fights, and LG not able to do so. Finally, they break through. Gunless and Formal winning a couple of fights that in the back of your mind, though, Chance, if you are LG, you have to worry about those streaks. And there's the first investment. The Hellstorm missile comes through. That's going to find 2. You know Nagafen still has a lightning to use, and that could honestly be the deciding factor for the rest of this map.
I mean, you're super happy about that game, right? Use the lightning, pick up a couple kills, and more importantly, it gets you about 20 points, even on the rotation. Nothing but Gen.G in the kill feed. They've already guaranteed they cannot lose by more than 100 points, and they are looking fantastic to win this game. They're in the hill, and if you're LG, what do you even do? You got to get through the vision pulse. Good luck, have fun. Free kill number 1, free kills number 2, working their way in, just trying to feed Naga, who eventually takes one more with them before he falls. LG inside the hill. Havoc, though, has the grab slam to take even more down. It is a struggle fest for LG.
And it's just trade after trade after trade inside the hill. Every time LG think they've broken through, someone from Gen.G flies on in. Hill contested. Now Naga with another double. Looking for 3. Naga, can he find 4? One more, almost gets it. Gunless shuts him down, but Envoy there for the instant trade. And LG, they're throwing everything they can at this hill, and it just simply isn't enough.
And they're spawning so far out. You got Major Maniac's been hanging out watching mid-map for 20 seconds. Now the vision pulse actually does come in from the other side. But the problem is you're playing from the defensive side. Yeah, throw shoulders all day, just buy as much time as you can and force the opponent to take bad gunfights. Whether or not they have the vision pulse, honestly, you can make it work. Envoy, though, sliding around orange, 2 players in front. Gunless is able to find 2. LG has to get the break, though, and they got to get those back spawns because, frankly, this is too big of a lead that Gen.G has right now.
Still a potential for a comeback, but it will start right here with LG locking in a full 60 on the second hill. Kills crucial. And unfortunately for Slacked, he will fall, but there's still LG resources inside and amongst the hill as Formal finds one player to the outside. It will dive in. It's Major Maniac. Formal has earned his tempest, but he does have to heal. Not enough time for him to clutch up for LG as Gen.G creeps slowly towards the 250 mark. Classic springs into life. That's 2 for him, but the trades have to come through, and through they come as John managed to get the shot punch on the Mox. Now the rotation race. I think Gen.G should be good, but if LG can just break through with this first wave chance, there's a chance of a comeback.
It's going to be within a 20-point game. It's worth pointing out. Formal, yes, has the Tempest. Slack, by the way, working close towards his grab slam as well. And Gunless has the War Machine. They have all the utilities that they possibly need to get inside the hill. You got to connect with some shots, or maybe Classic can do a form inside the hill, though. It's going to be Classic, able to find 2, trying to surge forward.
And that's another big double from Classic. He did it on the last hill. He does it again here. 232, 204. The Tempest connects. Nagafem will go down. Formal forced to just punch him to clean up the kill. Mox inside, however, should be good to delay as Gen.G have it contested. Grab slam invested by Slack, finds one. Can he get the second? Trade after trade after trade. Finally, LG with a little bit of control.
The question is Naga want to use the Tempest? It looks like for the moment he doesn't. He might even be thinking about saving it for next because Gunless pulls out the War Machine. They have pulled out all the stops just to survive. And if they get these final 20 seconds, they're going to be able to take that lead going into next.
And if you're Gen.G here, it's all about stay calm. Do not push this hill unnecessarily. You know there is a War Machine out. You have a little bit of utility you can use to close the game out on pipes. Rotate early, set up and play for the kills, but the problem is it's LG picking up all the kills. Game tie, 233, 233, and it's LG already in the new hill here at Pipes.
And Naga's been team killed as well. The kill feed not going their way. They got to deal with Gunless on the flank. He's able to find one, and now Naga, does he have to turn around? He's got Envoy. Connects with the Hipfire to find Slack. His teammates come in through mid. He's looking for more, but LG just 4 seconds away, and the game is theirs.
Major Maniac's had a relatively slow game at 18 and 29, but this could be where he springs into life. Gen.G about to try and take the lead, but Gunless hit the flank. The trades still come through. Hardpoint still contested with 30 seconds left. This is going to end. Here's 1, 2, 3 for Major Maniac. I called it perfectly. The man, the myth, the legend steps up when Gen.G needs him the most, and they clutch up and secure game number 1.
And Ben, what a big game number 1 for them to get. You think about their series they had in the Pro League. 5, 6 in a row. They constantly were losing that game number 1, bounce back and take it over. Every time they face against LG, they lose frequency. Hardpoint, well, they got the new guy on the team. They fixed their mistakes.
Yeah, no more game 1 woes for Gen.G. They are up 1-0 in the series. For now, though, let's find out what is going on elsewhere here at Fort Worth.
Thank you very much, guys. We are going right into Charlie because Optic has managed to come back from almost a 100-point deficit. It was looking kind of gruesome for a second, Nameless.
Yeah, I glanced over it. I think they were down, what, 90 to 100 points?
It was 100, yeah.
Yeah, I was so focused on Alpha Match, I didn't realize how crazy this was. EGR within striking distance here.
You can hear
fans are starting to go crazy.
behind us.
These are the maps that EG have to close. Like, you're up 100 points. If you want to create an upset, you cannot give away these maps.
Well, the player number 10 that's going to be attached is trying to push through water. He has a big player coming on this pitch. He's going to get taken out by Dashy. All they need to do is hold on for 10 more seconds. Hellstorm coming in.
They can't get there. They're covering it. They can't get there.
They can't even get inside. Grab slam as well. Optic are going to clutch up and win map number 1.
How do you let that happen if you're evil geniuses? You can't let this happen.
You can't. You absolutely can't.
You can't let this happen. And now you have the crowd The crowd's going crazy.
And
That's
again,
home field
this is
advantage right there. That's home field
That's
advantage
it.
right there.
You can come out and snuff that. You're up 100. You're up 100.
Yeah, it was mighty quiet.
Yeah, it was quiet back here. There was no noise.
I see we finally get to go into some up on the desk, not 2 seconds before it ends.
You have to close those. That's been EG's problem this whole time. Like, I don't feel like they're as bad as they're showing. Finish out these games.
I feel like they're definitely getting frantic towards the end of these
They
games.
have to be.
Yeah.
Especially, it has to be something to do with the crowd. Like, you're just sitting there playing Optic, and the crowd is just, you hear them just getting louder and louder. So you're just starting to shake a little bit. You're sitting there like, all right, I gotta get this kill. Well, I didn't get the kill. Ah! Like,
Yeah.
it's all gonna go down.
Yeah, I
after
need
that.
to see what
true.
happened.
Some
I wasn't
people-
able to.
Yeah, we're watching this one more
hypes some
time.
people up.
It's the end of the map.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up like that many points, like 100, 120, it's like at that point you got to just try to neutralize one push of specialists. So, you know, I would assume that they just got destroyed on when Optic started to pick up their specialists. Then Streaks come in right here to seal the deal, and you have one opportunity and Attach trying to go through water, but unfortunately for him, Dashy picks up on that, kills him, and from there it's pretty much done and dusted.
Karma is picking up right where he left off yesterday versus United. He had a 2.1 KD. And look at him here, 31 and 24. Picked up the streaks to secure the game for him. Missed the 3 rings, hit a play today.
I mean,
I
that's
feel like
gotta
this
be.
game was tailor-made for Damon. He's so good at this game, man. And he's like one of the only grapple Maddox players.
Yeah.
It's a solid guy that's like, just give it to him. He's so good with it.
All right, let's move on to Delta. We do have Midnight and UYU going at it. It's almost at the end. UYU needs 8 more seconds.
Yeah, I mean, Midnight's been underperforming. They had a 2-9 map count record in group play. Like, that's not what you want at all. Lamagod was sitting at a .77 KD on one of the worst KDs in the leaderboards of anybody here. It's just, you need everybody to step up and start to play a little bit better if you're Midnight. And right now, UYU are 8 points away from closing out this game 1. If I'm Midnight and I'm UIU, you got kind of lucky with your round 1 matchup, to be honest.
It's very clear that their teamwork is not there. It's not like Llama just forgot how to play over a week, right? He was performing consistently on the original Midnight roster.
Yeah.
Their teamwork is just not there.
And again, this is a reminder that both Charlie and Delta are loser bracket. So whoever loses, he's done.
Going home.
And then over on the side of UIU, the absolute worst KD of any single player in the championship bracket is Gorgo Knight. So, like, there's just players across the board that are underperforming, and UIU, it's kind of confusing to me because you release guys who, he wasn't playing great, I mean, he wasn't playing that bad, but you add Brazilian, who was fantastic, and their respawn at the Pro League wasn't that bad at all, right?
No.
Like, UIU was clutching up winning games, like, on the back of Methods of Mayhem, and here it just has not been good, and you know, it's just maybe that chemistry trying to get things going, and sometimes you do miss that player you had that was filling those gaps.
Well, the only issue I can see with bringing in Barzilian was the fact that he was slow. We always talked about that. He was a slower pace and they already have Methods. Methods not quick. So you bring in 2 guys that are slow, and it could be affecting their pace. But you're right. They got a good matchup today to start with, because Midnight, they just look awful.
And you can make that run, you know, start getting momentum early on.
All right, we are going to move on now. We are going back over to Alpha with our casters, Ben and Chance.
Thank you very much, Katie. Thank you, everyone on the desk. It's nice to have a quick look around and see what else is going on here at Fort Worth. A crazy game 1 there for Optic versus EG. I feel a little sorry for EG at this point because it feels like they get in those positions so consistently, you just can't close it out.
I mean, you know, the game went as expected, right? Like, you think EG versus Optic and Hardpoint, Optic's gonna win, just like they wrote it down.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how they wrote it down. But here's the series on the main stage. Of course, Gen.G, LG. We said it was going to be close. We made the comment at the very beginning of the day. All of the talent is split here. We don't really know who's going to win it. There's no decisive answer. We're all 50-50. Some of us say Gen.G, some of us say LG. Me and you both said Gen.G, and so far, so good after a pretty chaotic end to map number 1.
And of course, anyone that paid any bit of attention to the Pro League knows that Gen.G and Search and Destroy
They're pretty good.
Phenomenal. 12-1, and I think the only S&D the loss they've had recently came yesterday.
Yes, it did.
It was a series for them where they already knew they were guaranteed first seed no matter what happened. So 12-1 for Gen.G. Phenomenal so far on this map, specifically undefeated as well. 4-0, and more importantly, the last time they played Luminosity to play this map, they beat them 6-3.
Okay, well, there's the information. Will it be the same here in map number 2 of this series? Of course, we often make the comment that when teams do make changes, it takes a little longer for Search and Destroy to really develop as you get that team chemistry. And, well, maybe that's a sign. Gen.G obviously in that first Search and Destroy loss yesterday. Still a relatively close game, however, as Bomb already down here in round number 1. A couple of kill trades so far. Formal will give LG the advantage, but that's immediately taken away by Havoc. And speaking of Havoc, here he is trying to get the play over towards Showers. 3 players all around him, dancing and darting. There's one. Won't be able to find a second, but teammates should be good to trade. 1v1, 15 seconds, and Formal just slaps Envoy across the face. Thank you very much. I'll take 3 kills this round and the defuse.
Slap box fight, Formal comes out on top and is basically already halfway to that Tempest. So you talk about things that you need to help to beat Gen.G in Search and Destroy. Well, you have a specialist by round number 3.
That's pretty good.
Not too bad, because no one will be prepared for that. But of course, that's just a full 5v5 retake. You could see LG, they took their time. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They had Classic with the Rampart, posting on the top side of the map. You have a triple flank, coming in. And I think once John gets an opening kill, you flood through the hole in the wall, and well, then it becomes chaos, and you bunch of people.
And it's really smart play as well from Formal. He had an ICR in that situation. You don't really expect him to win that gunfight, but the way he quickly reacted to that 1v1, wanted to try and trade that out as fast as possible, and gets the shot punch. Really good round there from him. LG with the advantage now in the search, but they have to keep the snowball going. And to your point, if you're able to earn that Tempest as quick as you can, obviously very beneficial. Nagafan with the sniper rifle, Classic trying to wallbang, and Mork says, you trying to wallbang me? Oh no, I got some shots of my own.
Mox is one of the more creative ICR players we've seen. Major Maniac, by the way, with the Rampart, able to find a kill himself. Formal had essentially a potentially free kill in front of him, but now Havoc just runs circles around the opposition. Formal finds himself in a Gen.G sandwich.
That was fast.
And they shut him down very quickly. And again, obviously, we could not see all the kills because they happen at the same time, but it seems like a lot of players are starting to lead towards that Rampart because you get the double FMJ.
Yes.
If you saw the gunfight happening at the start, you can shoot through everything around Showers like it's butter.
Yeah, you most definitely can. It's a very good weapon to utilize at the start of the round, specifically on this map. You might see more and more people kind of develop that strategy as it kind of goes on, as the year goes on. Already more people deciding to use the Rampart situationally, of course. But a good response from Gen.G, tying things up 1-1.
And the exact same thing. LG, it's saying, hey, go plant the bomb over at A. We are happy to let that happen. Classic is moving back basically in roughly the same position. They are trusting their ability to retake. But of course, it's still, you have to imagine, an advantage to Gen.G. They just didn't get the trades last time. It came down to a 1v1. Where Formal had to punch the SOG, but same situation. LG, though, this time. All 5 players from up top, and Classic gets the opening kill with a nade.
Oh, that was just a little unfortunate timing there for Gen.G. Although Havoc's going to try and turn the tide of the round. It's a 3 versus 4. And unfortunately for him, he will lose that fight. It's Classic again with the Rampart. Will be the difference maker. Nagafan has to check bomb turns, will not be able to pick up Gunless, and now it's all down to Mox. A 1v4 does make it a 1v3, but these situations are so hard this year, and that's exactly why. 3 players staring straight at you. Bomb will be defused. LG back with the advantage.
And this is a phenomenal spot for LG to be in, because they have had 2 rounds on defense. They give the bomb up for free. They have 2 different styles of retake they go with, and what they're doing off the rip is just heavily stacking that other site. So if you're Gen.G, you're thinking, okay, well, we can get the bomb plant if we want. If we try to take the fight at the other site where everyone is gonna be there, that's not gonna be fun to deal with. So Gen.G are kind of in a rough spot of what they wanna do. And of course, well, one of the things you have to do is get past Gunless, who, as we know, not an easy task.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Pretty difficult, that's for sure. We'll see Gen.G on their next attack if they do want to try and change things up. But for now, it's going to be LG on their attacking round. It looks like more of the same. Here's a quick glance at what makes the Rampart just so strong in that situation, as Major Maniac does shut down Formal. But again, trades very quickly at the start of this round. 30 seconds in, it's already a 3 versus 3. Major Maniac does have a nade to throw out. Will connect with anything, doesn't look like it. More trades, 2v2, 60 seconds on the clock. You still have Major Maniac and that Rampart alive to potentially make some plays.
Looks like Gen.G, they're going to try to play for the bait. Actually, with the way they're positioned, they don't know where one player is, because it looks like one guy's going to be watching the flank. So they're going to be playing for information. Or maybe they'll just make a move. It's actually going to be timed perfectly. You got a Rampart with the hipfire, able to find one. Major Maniac trades, and now he's going to run away. Gunless comes back for the challenge. Still plenty of time on board. Looks like Mike's going to run.
Bear in mind how close Gunless is to Streaks, too. He grabs the bomb, and he's going to try and put that down. That's going to have to give him a little bit further progression. 175 is what he needs. Major Maniac with the challenge, and Major Maniac with the kill. Clutching up once again for Gen.G.
You know, we brought up before map 1, Major Maniac, best respawn KD at the tournament so far. He's got like a 1.51. Best search and destroy KD. It's like a 3.17. That is what he is here for.
And bear in mind, map number 1, yes, he makes the flashy play at the end to kind of seal the deal, but it was a relatively slow game from him, and that's when your point about, why did you bring Envoy onto this team for those performances? Without him, that map would have gone completely different, and LG would have more than likely just steamrolled through with a performance like that from Major Maniac.
Absolutely, and of course, slaying aside, you do have to go back to the situation for Gen.G. What do you want to do on offense? You've gotten stuffed on a hard retake over towards A, but they keep giving it up. And it looks like slight adjustments are coming in. They're not going for the plant right away. It looks like they're waiting for LG to make a mistake. The question is, what does LG do when that bomb doesn't go down?
I will say on the flip side, though, it's situations like this where I think they may actually miss Spacely quite a bit in these quick in-round adjustments in Search and Destroy. That's one thing he brought to this squad, which was very, very impressive to watch over his time playing this. Specifically in Search and Destroy, but so far, 4v4.
If there is a Call of Duty dictionary with the word finesse in it, that's exactly what John just brought to the table. That is on point. But still only for the first blood, he does get traded out. So you have a 4v4. Well, now it's almost a similar situation. Bomb goes down today. This time a 4v4. Envoy doing his best to stay alive. And he has done so. In Gen.G, they're responding. They're pouring out from this bomb site. They're pushing on the aggression. You see it works. They get the kills. It was a 2-2 split for LG. 2 players just get overwhelmed. Of course, now, though, Gen.G, they got to go back to the bomb.
And now, though, you can feed Major Maniac 1 or 2 of these kills. He's going to be in such a good position, but never mind. They all fall like dominoes. Formal and Slacked, that's all you need. You don't need 3. You don't need 4 players. No, just let them retake the site.
That was about as good of a crossfire as you're ever going to see. You got 1 player go towards showers, 1 player come from trees, and the timing was perfect. They get there just before Gen.G comes back through the doors, and Gen.G is thinking, okay, we have to check bomb in case someone hopped it. We got to be fast on this, and then you're stuck in an LG sandwich.
And that's a frustrating round to lose, because you make your initial adjustment, you push through, you take the fights, and you trade out effectively, and you walk away with the trades with a man advantage, with bomb down and, 25-ish seconds on the clock. And then when you do go back to retake control of showers, you just get crossfired and shut down.
And that's also another gunfight from Formal, where it seems like not a good situation, not the right gun for the job.
No, you're right.
And he makes it work for himself. 7-2 right now, has the Tempest. And you see Gunless has crept up on that War Machine as well, a kill away. But of course, Major Maniac, War Machine on the other side. And Formal wants to do it here. Has the Tempest,
I mean, it's a
but
perfect
nobody's
spot
home.
to have it. Perfect spot. You could potentially pick up a couple of chains. He has plenty of time left to utilize it, but now they know he has it as he fires and misses. Envoy has somehow found his way into more showers. That's a shot punch, bear in mind. As well as that, Classic has fallen, but the temp is still out by Formal. You gotta be careful you don't get chained, and that's just the case for Havoc. He will fall, last player right in front of Formal, and he will clean that up and also get himself some streaks to play with as well.
I don't like that, Ben. If you come on the flank and you pick up 2 kills, you got a 5v3. Yes, the time is ticking down, but you know Formal is in showers. Until you get the timing perfect to pinch him out, you just can't attack him. Plus, we saw that player, when Envoy goes down, there was a solid at least half a second, which has to be enough time at this level to recognize, don't go near him. Just let him die, that's fine, chalk it up. We'll find a new approach because we do have players coming on the flank. But again, situations, Gen.G, they're in great spots. And Formal just turns up. He's obviously got the lightning strike creeping up on the Hellstorm, and he is 10-2.
Yeah, very impressive performance, and LG now with a 2-round lead. And also bear in mind, Slacked, close to a Grav Slam, close to some streaks. If he gets 1 kill, could see him maybe utilize that Grav Slam this round just to secure even more streaks. War Machine, of course, rattling out in the background. It's Major Maniac that has it. Teammate with Bomb. They have once again taken control of the site. You better have Flak on Classic. Luckily he does. I say luckily, of course he will know. Major Maniac has that War Machine. Again, Bomb goes down, and again, Gen.G with control, but the Lightning Strike is going to be used this round by Formal.
It's going to force him close, but of course the stun comes in. Can't connect with the hit fire. Now the kills are coming. The stun might just shut him down. All of a sudden a 2v4. You got Nagafen. And well, you got Mox apparently beat down. 2v4 is here. You got a 2v2. Slides come in. Classic able to pick up 1. Naga by himself. Shot in the back. Classic gets the final 2 on top of the stuns, on top of the lightning. LG going up 5-2.
And Nagafen's going to be so frustrated there. The dead slide cost him. If he's able to slide in the little room, potentially just finesse a little bit more time, potentially that 2v4 clutch could have come through. But So far, LG in showers have been phenomenal. Their retakes have been great. Their planting and post-plant positionings have been great. This is a very good map to watch here for Search.
Like everyone predicted. You got LG giving him the hands in hardpoint. Yep, Gen.G comes back, and Gen.G again, 12-1 as of late in Search and Destroy.
Incredible
Find
record.
themselves in an incredibly difficult spot now against LG.
Again, it comes to the point I brought up about, you lose spacely. What's the benefit? Of course, you respawn slaying performances, but your loss is heavily here in Search and Destroy. And you can make the argument that you've already seen it so far with Gen.G getting that first loss yesterday. And, well, a 5-2 down here to LG, let's be honest. It'd be a miracle if they were able to come back to Snagafen. First blooded, and it's formal again, 11-3. What a map from him. So many times you see him in positions he shouldn't be winning gunfights, and he still does. The man, he can pull a rabbit from a hat.
And this should essentially be over. You go through ice stream, Slacked is going to grab Slimey, you take too long, Formal calls the Hellstorm over the top, the bomb is down, the next kill comes on board, 5v3, and you still have the Hellstorm, and do they need it? And it looks like they don't. He can hover this till Kingdom Come, just slow it down, keep him trapped inside, or
not.
Don't hover it, go straight down, but again, Ben, it just shouldn't matter. You got a War Machine raining down, you got everything. You got literally everything, and LG, map number 2 on Gridlock, giving Gen.G their second loss in the past month.
And Chance, I will say, that was just way too easy. That was way too easy for LG. It didn't look tough whatsoever. The retakes, the post-plant positioning, everything went perfectly. Admittedly, a big part and reason was Formal's performance, despite having, an ICR over to watch out, still running close-range gunfights, but LG keep it interesting, tied the series 1-1.
I mean, the cookbook was there. You set up a couple rounds, but again, Formal has the punch. He's got the Tempest where he kills 3. Pretty insane plays throughout.
Yeah, well, let's find out what is going on elsewhere here at Fort Worth. Katie, over to you.
Thank you so much, guys. That again was LG managing to tie up their map 2, but we need to go back to Charlie again, where it looks like Evil Geniuses might be able to tie this one up as well.
Might be able to.
Might.
Will they choke again?
Might.
Because they had a massive lead on that game 1, and that's been the story of Evil Geniuses so far in the tournament.
So far since the PLQ. Like after that, they've just been giving away leads left and right.
This is a good thing that we're actually seeing EG yesterday pull out their first Search win. They might pull out another one right here.
But yeah, that's what they got attached for, right? Like these Search and Destroy specialists supposed to improve them greatly, and it hasn't really panned out in their favor thus far.
Okay.
Maybe not.
2v1. Will he clutch up? He's in a 1v1 now. Oh, he's gonna. He didn't see him.
There we go.
I'm not sure. Did a stun come in there for Dash to be able to slide and get that
No,
2-piece?
I just think it was unexpected. They just didn't expect one guy to just fly 2-piece them.
No, there was like 3 players right there that did get stunned, but they had tac mask and they recovered pretty quick. And Dashi was tucked away in that corner. Both players tried to slide behind that rock, and if that first player does a little bit of damage or kills him, they might trade Dashi out. But unfortunately, he was just way too fast on that challenge and picks up 2 kills. And then Royalty just got his ankles broken.
he just didn't know where he was at all. Timing COD can be unfortunate for
And that's scary because he just invested that grab slams. Like he put everything into clutching that 1v2, and now that you just got rid of that, what do you have? Gunjar with the Tempest, and you have Scump working on his crash, and Dashi currently have a Tempest as well. So you got to close this out now before Optic start to pick up some of their other specialists. It looks like we're going to see a 5-man spread out of Evil Geniuses, just trying to get that information.
Attach has always been the player that's just been one of the greatest island players. This is why you can see what he's actually doing on the B side, just holding the late flank. Eventually, when his team rotates to A, I'm expecting him to just push through B, or eventually just hold their middle. Just pick up an off angle that you won't really expect. Yeah, Attach is going to have 2 players to deal with on that flank, but meanwhile, there's a bunch of players in U on Evil Geniuses trying to get that first pick over at A so they can make way towards the bomb. But what happened was Crim6 picked up a kill and just completely stopped the EG push. And
then it falls apart.
It falls completely apart because if you invest 4 players over towards you and you don't get that first kill, you're just going to end up trapped. And as soon as Crim gets that kill, it's pretty much round over. And now the rest of the players on Optic are going to be working towards their specialists. TJ's about 2 kills away from War Machine. This could get very scary if Evil Geniuses don't close it out next round.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, now this is, it's in their heads now.
I mean, that's dire straits. If you
get
a comeback map 1, map 2, and then, losers bracket map 3, do or die.
Yeah, the thing about that last round with Evil Geniuses was they kind of just like huddled up over there in U and they played for that pick. You can't hesitate, because at that point, there's players in Optic Gaming pushing through that other site and they're getting that information. And when they're like, okay, they're not pushing here, let's wrap back and just stack this side. And that's exactly what Optic Gaming did. They read the push and they stopped it completely. I think Evil Geniuses need to take it to them
Optic
and
also
play
had
aggressive.
2 players on that flank. You had numbers advantage. You guys need to go quickly.
Yeah. And now we're seeing a full-on push towards B out of Optic Gaming. Yeah, one player to deal with, that's gonna be Royalty, but a couple players have been mapped, which can get scary.
Armor first blood, and they pop Crash.
They can take this side now with ease.
4v4 situation. They have Crash.
And that Tempest, I'm curious to see if this comes into play, but that's the thing. Optic is trying to get the bomb down, and Evil Geniuses are challenging them, jumping down these ladders to stay up top and wait for Optic to go. And now you're in a 5v5 scenario, and that is absolutely nerves, John. That is nerves right there.
Why are they doing it? They don't need to drop down. Stay up top. There's nothing is getting accomplished down by those ladders. They're dropping down, getting dashes, 3 kills. They're shook.
100%. And he still has that Tempest to work with, and his Tempest looks like it's pre-patched. So going to this next round, you got to be terrified if you're EG.
Does EG have any specialists on deck for this last round to go up against Dashy's Tempest?
I don't think so.
We'll see
it's
here
the
very
Tempest,
shortly.
right? They didn't use the Tempest.
I don't think Gunjar used his Tempest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even earlier in that round,
Gunjar did use his Tempest.
the player that got picked back B was just terrible.
Evil Geniuses doesn't have any specialists round 11. And looks like TJ's probably going to get his War Machine.
So here comes sort of a similar strat. We're looking at a B push out of Optic Gaming. We're going to see 3 players going over through pipes. TJ trying to get some information on that flank. No players on Evil Geniuses can decide to go that way. And this round, at least, we're seeing the players on EG get a little bit more pushed up on the map. They have been map control this time. Will they drop down and give Optic those free kills like they did last round? That Tempest is out. There's 2 players.
Have they spotted? Have they spotted the guy behind the wall yet?
I don't think they have any information on that player behind that wall, but if he does decide to cross to go for that challenge.
Oh, body bump. First blood. This is over.
And there's 2 players mid-map. Number 4, that's going to be Exotic, is going to decide to drop back, maybe retake from his side, but Optic is swarming around that B point. They have every angle on lock, as well as TJ roaming around, just trying to find some rotators, and Evil Geniuses are in a terrible position. 40 seconds left in the round. They have to kill 5 people and defuse that bomb, so you really got to push it.
And they have no map control. They have no idea where to look.
You really have to play aggressive right now, and you got to get near that site. And that's pretty much going to be round over. Optic Gaming clutch up.
He said, it looks like EG's going to win this map. He said, I don't know.
Yep, I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know. Come on, man. How are you going to let that happen? You're up 110 points in Hardpoint. You're up 5-2 in S&D, and you get clutched on back-to-back in rounds where it's like obvious plays that you can't mess up.
Do we even think EG's bad?
Come on,
What's wrong with these guys?
What is that?
Nothing good. Nothing good is what we watched. Again, that was losers bracket. Optic and Evil Geniuses. Optic managing to come back twice. Evil Geniuses seemingly starting to crumble here, and they are done if they lose. But we will be back in just a minute.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL. Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL. And Jack in the Box, the official restaurant of the CWL.
32 amp game fuel. Level up the game.
Gen.G, LG tied 1-1. We're heading now over towards game 3 control. And it's worth mentioning, Chance, the loser of this will actually play the winner of the EG Optic gaming match. Probably up to game.
I was going to say, with the way that's looking, with the way EG is probably feeling after those first 2 maps, that's the expectation, which, one, it would be insane if LG had to match up against them, but at the same time, you could say the exact same thing for Gen.G. Of course, the tail of the tape, this series has been topsy-turvy. Makes no sense. It's not an easy game for anyone in any way, shape, or form. And, of course, you go to control, which the 2 times these teams have faced off, well, they split 1-1.
Yeah, they have indeed. You can see very interesting tidbit. LG have the best control round win percent at Fort Worth, 81.8%. So for Gen.G, this is going to be a tough one, but just some interesting little fact that you brought up during that kind of commercial break. Not necessarily too interesting, but I thought it was interesting at least. The last 2 times I think it is these 2 teams have played, the team that won control lost the series.
Yeah.
So if you're Gen.G, you're feeling good.
I mean, in my opinion, that's just like random chance.
Of course,
like
it's interesting.
It's just one of them things. So, you know, throw the map and then maybe it'll be good for a game number 5. But either way, it keeps going to game number 5 as well. But we'll see what happens in control. We are on gridlock. Last 2 times these teams played on this specific map, Gen.G actually did get the win. Okay. Of course, you got to keep in mind that was pre-Envoy, post-Spacely, or just when he was on the team. But either way, A zone captured, LG 3 life advantage. Fairly standard stuff off the rip, and Major Maniac just trying to play his life.
Yeah, interesting thing so far is that lead that has started to develop, 27 to 24 in favor of LG. Of course, A already fully capped, the extra minute added to the clock, so we've got 2 minutes here. If you're LG to attack that B zone. Mox trying to push forward, trying to play for some spawn kills, but this is a big double if Havoc's able to get it, which unfortunately he's not. Major Maniac coming off spawn. Now it's your turn to get the double. You're not able to do so. Envoy, 3rd time's the charm, right? Nope, not going to be the case.
Sogs keep running out of ammo, and Gunless with the Rampart able to pick up a handful of kills. And I'll tell you, Ben, Rampart, FMJ or not, you don't have to shoot through walls. That gun shreds. Of course, though, you got a player right next to you. Well, it's not better than a Sog when you're a couple feet away, and that kill feed, Gen.G trying to stabilize. They're trying to bring back that man advantage. And this is just all the ICRs in the world, and, well, maybe Classic knows something that we don't.
Yeah, they hit fire on the ramp, they're beaming. Envoy weak, and Envoy will fall. Classic's been exploring his options in terms of weaponry so far here in Fort Worth as he gets himself 3. Bear in mind, in the zone, it's going to be contested. He's 175 away from streaks, and if he's able to get it, that could be massive. The team kill comes through as well. So for LG, he may have just been gifted a freebie, and I love what Classic's doing, just put himself in a unusual corner. Play for the streaks, get the streaks, play for the trip cap, get the trip cap. Simple.
And that is as brutal of a round as you could possibly have if you're on the side of Gen.G. That is a tough pill to swallow. You got a Rampart that's gunning your ICRs, picking up 2 pieces left and right, and Classic, the man who has been performing the worst for LG, granted only for a day, is now the guy that's fully streaked out and is shredding your team. This might just be tough. Gridlock might just be LG's back pocket pick.
Oh, here's that clip once again from Classic. He went on to kill another 3 people following that and also cap the B zone. So big performance out of him, and did have a slow day yesterday. Definitely improved performance from what we've seen so far today. As you mentioned, Classic does have those streaks for Gen.G. It's their turn now on the attack, and Classic, of course, with that Rampart, is going to be making his way over towards Showers.
Just sticking with it. It has been a gun working very well for him. It's going to get 2 players incredibly weak, so he does fall, but that means his team is there for the trades. Last time, the opening break, LG wins it, gets the point. This time, Gen.G, they're trapped. You got Formal out watching cuts. Eventually, he gets taken down, but who's the guy that's the first one back? It's Classic, and you don't even want to stand behind walls. He gets taken down, though, eventually, because, well, there's 3 players there, and he tried to challenge him.
And Formal did his job very, very well. He pushed forward, found at least 1 kill, traded his life, bought time for his teammates to try and get over towards B to contest. The problem is, of course, when his teammates got there, they did in fact fall, still B, close to being captured. Contest comes through right at the last moment. Gunless challenges, but has to reload, and honestly, that might be that over at B. And this Classic drops around the outside. This is a very, very good start for Gen.G. Capping B off the rip. Now 2 minutes to cap A. You're almost in a perfect situation.
Yeah, and of course, maybe not the best streak usage coming out, but hey, you got an extra one. So you burn a lightning, you don't secure the point, but you get another one to play with. 2 life advantage for Gen.G for the moment. Slack is able to find a kill, which, well, gets traded out to a certain extent. Right now, the situation for LG, you gotta keep a bunch of bodies stacked up near the point. You gotta get trades like crazy, or if you're formal, you just kill them all.
I don't know how he does it. Sometimes you watch him and he just makes the game look so simple. It's almost as if the game comes to him. Never really forces anything. And finally he will fall. That was after a triple to give LG a ton of control over towards Gen.G's side. Now it's on Classic to the first line of defense. Finds one, tries to stay alive. He will inevitably fall. 15-14 life count.
And I'm gonna be honest, I know these teams actually scrim quite a bit online. I don't know if LG has ever pulled out this strat where they're having an ICR, a Rampart, a Maddox, and an extra AR in the back pocket and just leaving one SOG player. That is a ton of control you have to deal with, and of course, all that extra FMJ makes it tough inside of showers. Envoy trying to do a little bit of a dance. He's able to stay alive. His teammates help him out. The beatdown comes in. He's got the TAC 5. 10v9. You might want to invest it. The final player falls to Major Maniac. We also need a gun. The Lightning Strike comes in, gets out with his life, use the TAC 5, you get a Lightning. Now you need the point.
Yeah, super smart. Can you cap the point though? That's the question.
Can you get a gun?
Oh, yeah, that's also the other question, right? Oh, there's the gun. Oh, teammate saves his life, slipping and sliding around the zone. Back in, can he find the final pick? He's desperately looking for the Hellstorm, and somehow he gets it. And that will be that. The cap comes through, and the round is over.
That's a stressful round.
That's a very stressful round. If you're a Gen.G fan, your heart is beating.
I don't know how long he had it for, but he had an assault pack that entire time. Yes. Like, he was just looking for a gun. He's like, hey, throw it down, pick it up, do what you need. But either way, from a round that it seemed like LG had a great situation for it. Again, the control they had with all the ARs was paying dividends until they lost that control, and now you got to re-break into the point, and you're a couple SOG players short.
Right, and that's the interesting kind of pros and cons to your strategy, right? If you're obviously using a Rampart with double FMJ, you're going to wallbang everything in showers. But as soon as you get broken, and the SMGs from Gen.G get in showers, it can be so tough to try and retake. Very interesting start for Nagafen as well with the sniper rifle. 1, looking for 2. That's going to be formal as he's trying to defend that B zone. He's going to be calling for assist. The stun surely should see him fall, but no, the assist from Major Maniac as he slides forward. Oh, sorry, his Envoy slides forward. Now Major Maniac, it's his turn. Will at least be able to trade out his life. And a good start here for Gen.G as they try and defend the B zone.
And the flank comes in as well. Havoc just not keeping track of how many bullets he has, but his teammates are there. There is one player for LG over towards the A site. We actually got a War Machine getting pulled out, trying to get these guys out of the hill.
And Havoc's key as well here, because he's already earned his grab slam. If he rotates early enough here to A, he could drop that grab slam, potentially pick up a lot of kills. No, Nagafen still with a sniper rifle, by the way, hasn't fallen, so he's probably going to try and back pocket a different weapon. But a fantastic early lead for Gen.G, 27-20 over a full team wipe worth of lives. As I say that though, LG do string together a couple of kills.
You're dealing with Ramparts, so Nagafen is like, I'll just snipe. We'll just respond to the Rampart with a sniper rifle, and making it work for him. Mox gets taken down by his teammate. Major Maniac is going to fall. The Lightning Strike does get called in to force them off the point, and that buys you a little bit of time, and he still has that sniper.
He has died. He died a few moments ago, and he hasn't changed. And there's the grab slam that I was thinking about earlier on. Havoc invests it, gets 2. Nagafen, of course, has managed to find his hands on a Rampart. Probably wallbang that if you want to, but no, decides to wide peek and will fall. A 3 life advantage, a 2 life advantage as LG performing miracles to come back into this one.
Of course, it does look like Gen.G said, we've had enough. We're done dealing with showers. We will take our life advantage. We will take our 2 score streaks. And of course, they're getting close to some specialists as well, and we will fight you at B.
And obviously, we were talking about streaks on the side of LG earlier on. It's important to note, Envoy, of course, he has a Hellstorm Mox, he has a Lightning. So 2 streaks available for Gen.G if they want to try and invest in this round. Slack also has earned his grab slam, to your point here, Chance. And you can see the way LG's approaching this. Flood through the A zone and see if you can put pressure on the back of the map. And, well, there's the Vision Pulse.
Yeah, Vision Pulse and Major Maniac slides out anyway. He's just going to fall. Players come off respawn, granted near the B point, but if they get a little bit closer, Slack, he's got a grab slam, so you got to stay alive. And if he can get near the hill, he can just clear him completely out. This is a great spot for LG.
Hellstorm.
They also got a pinch coming in as well, but Envoy calls into Hellstorm, but everyone's inside. You're in Sushi, you're in Post, you're in 18. They got the control, they got trophies in the hill, and Gen.G, well, you got a pinch, but you got to go. They hunt Havoc down. Formal's looking for him. You pop the TAC 5. LG trying to win it here.
Oh, this could be this round done and dusted. 2 ticks in, 3 players pushing through. Post Light needs to at least win 1 gunfight, not able to do so, but his teammates in the zone trade out, and the round is snatched from Gen.G. They had a 7 life advantage at one point in that round, and LG still bring it back and still take the round.
In a weird round to get. Nagafen off respawn, keeping the sniper out, which granted, as far as the stripe goes, Nagafen known for his trigger finger, and he was able to get a couple kills with it. It is just strange stuff that we are seeing, but 3 for 3 with offensive round wins.
And again, to reiterate, the loser of this series, I believe, will play Optic Gaming. I think that series may have just concluded as I glance over players standing up, shaking hands. For now, though, entering round number 4, you can see the intent there from Slack to try and get the grab slam. More streaks now earned as well. That's a lot of streaks if you're LG. 2 for John, 2 for Classic, 1 for Gunless, and just one lonely streak there for Mox.
All those streaks and a Slack slam to boot. A point is going to be gone, and of course now we come to the situation where LG, they want to get this spawn trap coming in. 2 players on the flank. Classic's got mid-map control, and they got 1 player over on top broken as well, so this might be bad, because even if you try to stay back here, this is when the streaks might even start to come in.
That's the problem. They basically just have them trapped, and if they want to, I mean, you have 5 of them. You can invest 1 here, and that's the game plan. Hellstorm coming in. We'll spot Major Maniac. Hovering it, buying a little bit of time, and actually miss Major Maniac, so potential for a free kill there not capitalized upon. Still a 2-life advantage for Gen.G, but you can see LG just choking out Gen.G over towards the B side.
And honestly, if you're Gen.G, you can't even afford to play passive. Like, you have to fly because you're going to have to start burning some of these streaks. I mean, the good news is you get over towards B, you do have a lot of cover, but it still forces you inside. You're going to have to take some bad gunfights. And of course, that Rampart still going crazy. Mox able to take him down. Here's Rampart number 2. They take him down. And once they get all through this, LG, if they need to, again, they can call any one of their streaks. I think Gunless got an extra one just to slow him down. Gen.G, this is an incredibly tough spot to be in.
Yeah. Most definitely is, and the bigger problem is time is ticking. Minute 10 on the clock as the Hellstorm is invested. Fires out straight off the rip, and that's not going to get anything. So far, Gen.G, to their credit, have done a good job just surviving the streaks, but again, you have to worry about the time as now the pressure's going to come through. Zone contested. Clock will be stopped. Formal with a Tempest will take a couple of shots, has to back away. Another streak is going to come through. Gunless with 1, also the streak connecting with Envoy. Gen.G still, however, though, do have that life advantage chance.
Of course, they have the TAC 5 and they have the Tempest as well, but they don't have their lives because Classic is just continuing the destruction. And of course, Jean is leading the lobby and kills at 24. And now you got to get past Formal's Tempest. They're investing everything. They want to win it here. And I will say, Gen.G has done a phenomenal job of dealing with it all. Yeah. And now they're in a situation where there's only 1 streak left. And Gunless popped his War Machine. You got Specials out as well.
You got 28 seconds. You simply have to go. LG win this round. This is done and dusted. Mox is going to use the Hellstorm and... Okay. That looked a little raw, but a blind Tempest could make up for it. There's 1. Formal with 2, though. Formal with 3. Of course, it was going to be Formal. Envoy trying what he can do, and Formal kills him as well. Basically a human turret over towards the B zone with 8 seconds left. I don't think they're even going to be able to touch the zone. Formal's able to land a couple of shots down. Mox does find a pick. Aren't they going to be able to contest? Well, they are. There's 3 people there. As John tries to fly out, has to reload. Somehow he falls. It's 5 versus 9. And with that final kill, players off respawn. LG will take game 3. And let me tell you, Classic had a hell of a map. He may not have had the most kills in the lobby, but let me tell you, his kills highly, highly impactful for the team.
Well, let me tell you, I have no idea if they pulled out that strat yesterday, but the number of Ramparts we just saw, if I'm going forward and I'm thinking LG, I don't know how many teams are going to want to deal with that. That did not look fun.
I think the only way of dealing with it is you do it yourself, right? You saw a couple of moments when they actually picked up the Rampart off the floor. They were able to fight back a little bit over towards Showers, but besides that, LG outsmarting the competition there in game 3. But again, curious to find out some of the other results here at Fort Worth. So Katie, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ben. Your desk is back. Nameless, Pac-Man, and Study. We did just see LG pull up 2-1 there on Alpha, but Nameless, why is Classic playing so well? I mean, he really seemed like he stepped up. What's going on?
All right, he is making the right decisions. He's being very impactful. But that Rampart is disgusting. It's the gun I run online in every single league play match. But I took it from the man, the myth himself, Adam Killisloss.
Always ahead of the meta.
He's always ahead of the meta. I know he's sitting at home right now just laughing like, the Rampart's out. That's his thing, dude. That's Sloss just using that all day long. And now players are starting to pick up on it. It's actually working, man. Like, that thing wall bangs people like none other. You can strap on FMJ.
On the side of EG, the way that they lost those first 2 maps, they simply just stood no chance going to map 3. You choke a 100-point lead, you choke a 5-2 lead in S&D. Going into that 3rd map, all momentum is on Optic side. You hear the fans going absolutely nuts. how do you even bounce back from that?
can't.
And
You
there's no chance.
don't.
You just don't.
Yeah, and I mean, so we just saw 3 3-0s, all fast. Of course, that means Midnight and Evil Geniuses pack, they are done. And for Midnight, that roster mania did not work out.
Midnight and Evil Geniuses both won 2 total maps.
And got 3-0'd every other
You
series.
need 3 maps to win 1 series. They won 2 total
That's
maps.
bad.
That's not good. That's not
horrible.
good. And there's 2 ways to look at this for Optic too, by the way. 1, yeah, they clutched up. But 2, they were in a position where they had to clutch up back-to-back maps. I'm not sure what's not flowing right for them, but they got to figure it out if they're going to beat the better
personally,
opponents.
I think that's the best way to start off the day. Like,
Yeah.
to have that tenacity to come back and win, and then you just close it out with that momentum on Gridlock 3-0. So I think if you've been battle tested early on a day like this where you have to make a loser's bracket run, it's the best way to start off the day. Like, you got your fans going, you got your team going, like everything's going good for Optic right now.
Study, how do you think Attach is feeling right now?
Attach, I know you're happy to be in the Pro League, but you didn't win a series. You only won 2 maps. At least you won an S&D. But overall, you just got to basically, you guys had 3 weeks of practice, and that was just a complete disrespectful performance, to be honest, if you ask me. And hopefully you guys are able to go back and show a different different style of play at the Pro League.
But I mean, we've talked about how certain players have changed certain teams, like maybe Priester or Dylan, but it can't happen every time. You can't just nameless bring in one player and then everything is a hunky-dory.
I mean, obviously, with Evil Geniuses, they were just pitiful in the Pro League, and then that sort of translated over to this. And you know, even in that match, they just couldn't silence the crowd whatsoever. Like, the crowd was going crazy in every comeback, and they never had like that just finisher, like close out that hardpoint or close out that round of S&D to silence the crowd and get that momentum back on your side, because we talk about it a lot. Momentum is like a real thing. Like, it's huge. It plays a big part in your run, especially in a tournament like this, a Saturday where you have to make a loser's run. Momentum can get you through all the way to the end, and I think they just did not do a good job of stamping and closing one of those first 2 games.
And again, EG, Midnight are done here, but Alpha is ready to get back into things. We're gonna send it over to Ben and Chance.
Thank you very much, Katie. And the interesting thing about this next map, Chance, is neither team has actually won it so far this year.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing that's plagued LG as of recently in the Pro League has been their hard point. 0-3 on this map, but Gen.G 0-2. And the issue, I think, for Gen.G is, well, their hard point has been a little bit underwhelming. Of course, the reason you pick up Envoy is to make sure you get these wins. But even in that map number 1, as close as you could possibly get, and we simply don't know what happens to Gen.G when they start losing Search and Destroys. And especially when they're losing them like that, where LG clearly had an amazing cookbook that they were prepared to utilize against them. So it's one of those things that even if you get to game number 5, you're a little bit confident for Gen.G, but not nearly as much as you would have been coming into the series. And it's going to be tough just to get past LG on this map. 0-3 or not, you got Classic with the Rampart. He might have something special on his hands.
You got to slow him down. The man hasn't stopped with this weapon. He's been truly a pleasure to watch so far. One thing you definitely need, though, if you are a Gen.G fan, is a bit of a better performance overall from Major Maniac, because, well, Formal doesn't need a Rampart in his hands. He can do it the old-fashioned way with an ICR.
You get the kill on Classic with a Rampart of your own, you're like, all right, boys, we got him. And then everyone dies, you're having flashbacks to the Search and Destroy, where Formal just completely took over, and he didn't need to in the control because his teammates did it all, but big plays coming out. LG, as much as you could possibly carry the momentum into this map, they have absolutely done that off the opening break.
And to reiterate, the bigger picture here of this series, the loser of Winners Round 1, this specific match, will now officially play Optic Gaming, so that's a yikes. Definitely want to try and avoid that, and they're able to get some momentum in their losers bracket run. Of course, the reigning champs from Vegas fall early. But in this one, as we rotate now over towards Lambo, LG with the early spawn control, it's mainly due to Slag. Looking to find the second. Havoc will be able to slow him down. Players coming off spawn now to assist Havoc as Classic puts himself a corner. Sadly, not going to be able to keep control of the spawns. Or will he as they push out? Bear in mind, while all this is going on, LG is in the hill, Chance.
I was going to say, Gen.G is being super patient to try to set up the pinch, but all of a sudden it comes down to Envoy by himself, who, well, just got his first kill of the game. They do get through, but it did take quite a bit of time. So LG is still in a great spot. They have those back spawns, trying to surge on forward. Envoy, though, able to pick up the next kill. You got players for Gen.G dealing with a couple players for LG out towards Rock, and Formal just trying to stay alive in the back. Eventually, he should get cleaned up. That means all the pressure's Rock side and Gen.G. very solid job. They took their time. They got the clean break. They got a lot of time on board. And more importantly, with 15 seconds left, they get quite a bit of time to go for the rotation.
And obviously there you see Gen.G capitalize on their kills, right? They pick up a couple of kills and then they flood into the hill and they take control. And I think it was an interesting stat that JP came up with that you were talking about earlier on in the day, specifically with Gen.G and how good they actually are at converting kills to points.
Yeah, it's a hard point efficiency stat. It's how many points do you get for every 5 kills that you have. And I think if you look at the math between Gen.G and Luminosity, Gen.G was like 20% more efficient. Like they were hyper efficient, best that we've seen so far. But again, only on day number 1, but a couple kills go their way. You see Gunless picks up 2, but where does the efficiency come in? Who gets the better kills? And well, part of the efficiency is if you're losing the gunfights, who gets the closest spawns? For the moment, it's Gen.G. They're going to be the first ones back in the hill, but of course, Classic able to pick up 2. That makes it oh so tough. But now Slack just trying to stay alive.
And 20 seconds left of this hill. And it looks like finally LG will be able to get control, or maybe not. Envoy with a double over towards Connector, sliding around. Ellis has to be careful, don't give him a triple. Okay, well, there's 3, and John just gives him a love tap and finally shuts him down. Gen.G, of course, finding the scrap time to that hill as it sends. LG 70, Gen.G 57. Lambo controlled by Major Maniac, but only briefly as he will fall. But hill control should go to Gen.G, but LG are going to be flying forward from the old hill.
Need to reload. He does just that. Players always make me nervous. And Envoy, again, had a slow start. 0-5 is how he started. 10-8 is where he stands now on a 3 spree. And frankly, he seems like a man that is going to be difficult to stop. If anyone can do it, well, you got a handful of players to pick from the side of Luminosity. And they are working on the pitch as well. A couple players coming from Lambo, a couple players going to be coming through mid.
With how that first hill went, I think Gen.G are going to be pretty happy with the resting score after the first rotation. Even if LG was to pick up the remaining scrap time, which with 20 seconds left and a full blue kill feed is looking highly likely. Slack, meanwhile, controlling the top corridors, and that's, of course, what you're going to want to do as we rotate into our second rotation of hills. Slack with a good first half as well. First rotation at 10-5. Playing pretty well as well today.
And Gunless pulling out a very early War Machine. He's going to be going for that top hallway control. Able to find a couple kills as well, and actually 195 off the streaks, and that's why. But Major Maniac is going to run straight past, make it 70, doesn't even need to heal, connects and gets the lightning. Might even be able to get more as well, but he does get double challenged and get shut down. But that is a War Machine for a lightning, a trade he is very willing to make.
And Slack was 1 kill away from streaks himself, and that would have really been license for LG to spiral this game out of control. You get 2 lightnings, maybe even a lightning and a hellstorm there for Slack, would have been massive. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do so. As Gen.G jumps straight back into the first hill, 30 seconds left of time. Looks like we're going to have another lead change. Never mind, though, Havoc will fall. LG, more importantly here, have to try and break through and control those spawns for the Lambo Hill. As it stands right now, they do have control. But Gen.G are going to be flying straight towards them. You can see the way they've set up. Gunless on one side, Formal on the other, and, well, number 5 and number 3 for LG, spawning right in, ready for the new hill.
And this is where the grab slams get interesting over by Lambo. Havoc does have his as well, so he might be looking to get as close as he can. John, though, gonna punch him in the face, send him back home. And of course, Slack on the defensive end, if he needs to use it. If the break comes in from the back, which that's where Gen.G has those spawns where they're coming from, he might just get grab slam, but 3 kills go away to Gen.G, trying to surge inside the hill.
And bear in mind with how close this game is, if you use it earlier, if you use it here, you're definitely gonna see it again if need be, if the game stays as close as it is. Tempest invested by Nagafen. We saw the effect of this earlier on in the day. Very talented when it comes to just snapping Formal down low. Has to connect with it, will do, and he actually gets counter Tempest himself, but stays alive. 440 away from streaks. A couple more good Tempest shots, and you could see Nagafen pick something up in his back pocket to potentially utilize as that is just a tremendous shot from him. Looking for more. Don't peek the man. Stop peeking him. He will kill you with the Tempest.
Lightning and water don't mix. The Tempest battle comes his way, and that is a massive point swing. John, though, wins the difficult gunfight to not only shut down the streaks, but to get that scrap time, which, well, Envoy actually, well, he really cares about those final 7 seconds.
And this is where that lightning from Gunless could really come into play. If it's not here, maybe on the next hill. We'll see potentially how much time LG is going to be able to get. But if Gen.G breaks straight away, which with a grab slam is highly, highly possible, you could see it invested. Instead, no, the initial kills, the retake of the hill, going heavily for LG. We still haven't seen either grab slam invested so far. Envoy will find 2 somehow. Formal pre-firing, not able to pick up the kill. But all of this time, good for LG.
I mean, those are honestly pretty big kills for Envoy to get. That was nearly a clean 4 down. He stays alive, picks up 2. That means his team can get right back inside. Big plays coming out from him. Slacked again has the opportunity if he wants to go over top, maybe to try to pick up a couple kills. And of course, Havoc has that same opportunity at his disposal. Major Maniac, though, wants the final scrap time, pulls out the War Machine, but this is just as contest heavy as it could possibly be. And that War Machine, to no avail, gets no points. LG, well, maybe not able to take the lead, but they are going to be very close to a tie game.
It's almost deja vu from that one. Back and forth, back and forth. Envoy tries pushing, but not going to be successful. Gen.G will have early time here of the final hill of second rotation, trying to build a bit of a lead, but here comes Gunless through from corridor. He breaks through. A couple players over towards Lambo from Gen.G. He knew, not able to find the pick, and Slack slams, only gets one. Whether you could argue that was a bit premature or not, we'll see, because it's Havoc's turn now as he tried to fly through. Did he actually use it? Is that going to take half away? It will. So the grab slams that were saved, now it's going to be tough to try and earn that again.
It's not only that, it's Vision Pulse. You burn two huge specialists at the exact same time. You get nothing. LG gets all this time. They still have the Lightning Strike in Classic. Well, he's going to be looking for more. He's on a 7 spree. While all this happens, he does get taken down a little bit short of the next streak. But again, two massive specialists gone for LG, or for Gen.G, excuse me. So LG, honestly, in my mind, this game might be theirs.
Well, we shall see. Had a fair amount of good quality hardpoints so far. The first one of this series, of course, was extremely close, 250, 246, the final score. This one shaping up to potentially be something similar. There's Gen.G with almost a full wide classic last man up. He will drop as well. No one in the hill, though, for Gen.G to try and chip away at LG's very, very small lead, about 30 points as it stands. But that rotation to Lambo, that is where, in my mind here, Chance, this game is going to be won or lost.
It's going to be a very tough hill. Even from that 2-3 rotation, it's not going to be easy. But Gen.G getting a fair bit of time on this hill. Nagapin's able to pick up 2. Mox does get taken down in the back. But while this is going on, Havoc has just been sitting inside the hill saying, hey, we're going to try to get close to a cup game. And the gunfight goes the way of the punch. Major Maniac takes him down. And again, Gen.G, huge amount of time on this middle hill.
And as it stands, Gen.G do have the spawns. Envoy knows there's one player around here from LG. If he's able to hunt him down, the early time here for Lambo could be good for them to maybe have a lead change. As LG pick up the scrap of P1, they're going to be around about the 200-point mark to Gen.G's 178. The setup trying to come through. LG trying to fire straight through the front door, and that will be successful as Gunless picks up 2. For Major Maniac, there's going to be a wall of LG players flying straight towards him. There's 2 for him now. There's the cavalry and the reinforcements come from the spawn. Obviously, as it stands, Gen.G with the close spawns.
Well, he feels the pressure. The trophy system in the hill is going to help him out. They burn the Vision Pulse. Eventually, LG able to break through. But again, Gen.G right back inside. Naga's able to pick up 2. Had a little bit of help from Havoc. And again, Gen.G, incredibly difficult situation they've been dealt. They are handling it very well, able to retake that lead.
Bear in mind, Havoc has actually earned that grab slap, so he does have it as the kill feed just lights up yellow. 5 dead for LG. Gen.G, thank you very much. They will secure potentially that scrap time because you can see the spawns from LG. 3 players spawn out. There's 1 player still in the hill. It was Envoy. Had so much work to do. Scrap time good for LG now. It's all about the rotation, and that's what you're seeing here. Classic, the 1 player from LG, ready and waiting. How much of a nuisance can he be? There's 2 players close from Gen.G. One is Nagapin. He should fall or not. Somehow doesn't go down. Classic dancing and darting. Now the support from LG is going to be here, and we're down for a nail-biting finish.
And he's thinking about calling the Lightning. That's the debate, but Havoc over top. He might have the grab slam. He's only able to find 1. He might get cleaned up, trying to stay alive, just barely. These players with that stim shot doing what they can, but LG able to get inside the hill for the moment. They still have that safety assurance of the Lightning strike for this hill they need it, or for next.
John actually lost that fight as well. Major Maniac got the shot punch over a connector, so he still controls that side of the map. It's Formal with 2 quick temper shots back-to-back, connects with 2 downs. Envoy goes for the challenge again. Formal picks up the kill. Can he find 2? Yes, he can. Of course he can. Could be number 3 as well, but Major Maniac responds with a War Machine. 223, 220. Gunless now. It's his turn to fly inside the hill. He'll be traded out by Havoc, and LG flying. They don't want to give up the scrap time whatsoever.
This is going to be the most explosive final hill we have ever seen.
Get ready.
It's going to be War Machines. It is going to be double Lightning strikes. So frankly, if I'm LG in this situation, give up the early control. Call in the Lightning, kill as many people as you can, make your move, and if you need to, you can call in a second.
Well, that's the game plan. Lightning will be called in. Gunless controlling the corridor. Easy break for now, but now comes the difficult part. You have to hold Gen.G at 239, LG at 230. Plenty of time. This game more than likely will end here. War Machine out for gunless. He's only going to find one. Havoc flies in from the front. That's 2 for him. Now it's down to Formal with the ICR. Has to try and find a pick, but the problem is time is ticking. You have to get inside the hill. Gen.G just needs 6 more points, and Envoy is still being a nuisance with the sword. Hardpoint currently contested. Major Maniac finds 1. Envoy flying in with the support of Havoc. Are there any more specialists to use? I don't think so. This is going to be all gun-on-gun action as Havoc finds 2. Naga with 1. 2 more seconds. All Gen.G need. They don't care about your streaks. They don't care about your specialists. They still clutch up again in Hardpoint.
Man, that is ridiculous. That is a completely insane map from start to finish. It's a completely insane series with the hard points being the dagger for LG when that is where they have had the advantage against Gen.G in the past. Envoy's been playing great, but I don't even know. You have so much utility on the best hill possible, and you're actually getting kills with them. Like the first one you have, you pick a double, and then you just stop winning gunfights. Like, I don't know if it was Havoc that was repeatedly picking up 2 pieces with his hog. It certainly seemed like that was the case. He completely took him to it at the end, and that, I mean, if you're Gen.G, now you have to go into a Game 5 S&D. You're feeling confident.
I mean, if that doesn't fill you with confidence, quite frankly, I don't know what does. 2 amazing Hardpoint clutches to close it out, and our first series of the day here on the main stage is going to a Game 5. We'll be back after this.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL, Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL, and TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Chance, we started day 1 here at Fort Worth with a Game 5, and we're starting day 2 with a Game 5. What a series this has been so far. The hard points have been thrilling right till the very end. Now the Game 5 search and destroy. I think there's one player we're both going to be keeping our eyes out on.
It's got to be Envoy. In my mind, not only because of the roster change, but for Search and Destroy, I think he's like 3rd overall at Fort Worth. Obviously, maybe that changed after map number 2, but 3rd overall in first blood percentage. He got 4 first bloods, never got traded out while that was happening. And now we go to a map number 5, Hacienda. Well, for Gen.G, they never played it at the Pro League.
Ever.
So you talk about LG, well, no, this is just Pro League stats. They might have played it back in Vegas.
In the Pro League, they did not play it at all.
In the Pro League, they did not play it.
Okay.
And if you're thinking from LG's perspective, they went to Gridlock, which was Gen.G's best map, had a complete game plan cooked up for it. Now there's a situation where who knows what they bring to the table, but Envoy specifically, especially with the First Bloods, when he was playing with Midnight, he was hyper-aggressive mid-map. He was annoying as he could possibly be, flanking left and right, and just wreaking havoc on the map. And of course, well, if you're a fan of Envoy, he's got havoc on his team.
Round 1. Already bombed down. Classic was lucky to survive, and Classic still with the Rampart. It's just been the thorn in Gen.G's side this entire series. He's put it to such good use. Finally, he will fall. Major Maniac gets the kill and also escapes with his life. It's a 2v3. He's going to need help from Havoc very, very quickly if they're going to be able to clutch this 2v4 overall. Havoc hits Connector. One player dead to right, but I don't think he's going to be able to clean him up. Major Maniac will, but it's a 1v2 with hardly any time. And LG kick off the Game 5 with the first round win.
Good round. They have not slowed down a single bit. They won the first Search and Destroy 6-2. And it was a brutal game to watch, and a big reason was honestly because of the Rampart, which you're going to see a Classic picking up kills with it once again. It is apparently a gun that I think a lot of teams will start taking notes on.
How could you not? You've seen his performance so far
Classic
today.
goes from a .84 to a shred machine.
Yeah, he was almost double positive in the control. I think the last Hardpoint is, or sorry, the first Hardpoint he played extremely well as well. We've seen him use a wide variety of different guns. He pulled out the ABR as well yesterday.
Yeah, that's it. I like the Rampart.
I mean, yeah, me too, definitely. But I'm just saying he's not afraid of mixing things up and switching things up. Rampart definitely successful in his hands, at least. That's round number 2 underway. Gen.G, of course, on the attacking side now. A side wide open, and they should be able to exploit that. Bomb is being planted. That a big win from John, though. Read the play from Envoy damn near perfectly and gets the first blood.
2 HP in a dream, that's all John needs, but Formalin, well, yeah, just like that, the bounce back is there. Gen.G picks up a couple of kills. You want to use a Rampart, we can use it too. Havoc, though, up top. Knows a player's going to be around off this. Has Naga for the help, which Gunless straight up wins it. Havoc just gone. He's going to leave him out to dry and doesn't finish the gunfight as well. He's got Assault. Gunless healed, and he doesn't even need to. 2v2, the diffuser got killed. Now John's winning the gunfights. All of a sudden, Major Maniac, last man standing. Gunless on bomb.
This was a round which certainly could have won 11 seconds. They've now had to hop on the bomb. Wide challenge gets the kill. Not enough time for the defuse. Big round win for Gen.G. It was all set up almost perfectly, and then it crumbled instantly. No trades, a bit sloppy, if you will. Gen.G still win the round.
As good as Gen.G has been in Search and Destroy, I'm watching Gunless with 1 HP against a full Havoc hang out in the last bullet. We're going to see another look. Never heals when he starts getting tagged up. Dodges every bullet left and right. Just holds it perfect, and Havoc, I just
14 health.
That's rough to watch. Every one of his teammates just had to see that. They won the round, but God, if Gunless is shooting like that, there is no telling how this is going to go.
Well, 1-1. Bear in mind, Gunless, of course, didn't die towards the end there, or couldn't defuse the bomb, but he is close to some streaks. It was around about 200 points, I believe, 225. That was close. So we'll see if he's able to pick anything up. And that is a naughty angle from Nagafen. First blood, thank you very much. Formal falls.
Cheeky shots coming out from Nagafen. I don't know if they're going to plant the bomb right away. It looks like eventually they're going to be able to get that down. But they did hold on 5v5, and they held it pretty strong. Now they're going for the 4v5. You got Slack mid-map, wins the first gunfight, has the teammates for the help. The bait is going to be there, but Nagafen able to find another kill with the pistol. Just needs to get damage done for his teammates, but Gunless able to stay alive, winning gunfights like that. Last man standing is going to be Mox in time. Well, not on his side. Needs to find 2 kills, and again, with Gunless going for streaks, Mox, it is ever important for you to get this kill.
18 seconds. Both players still going to be connector, and is he going to have to concede? Hops out the map, lies down, and will say, take the round. I don't want any business of this. Try and delay Gunless getting streaks, but it almost feels inevitable from what we've seen in these first few rounds.
And if you're Gen.G, like, what do you do? Right, you're searching.
You tried pulling out a great. Yeah, you get first blood there as well.
I was gonna say, like, you pull out a new strat, everything goes right. Even here, you get the couple trays. Nagafen finds a kill right after this. You maintain the man advantage, and then LG, just someone able to stay alive, someone making that big play. They're coming up clutch.
And to Slack's credit, I think the play he made in Connector when he slid across and he just read exactly where Major Maniac was going to be, it kind of opened up the sequence of trading, but he did very well just to make sure that he got 2 kills throughout all of that. Gunless, of course, got 1, so he's now at 125 away from streaks. He's made his way over towards B and will be forced to back down.
Spawn potentially going to go down for free. But Gunless does have the angle, so he'll at least spot out when the player crosses over to bomb, and of course his teammates starting to swarm in. A couple players up in the top hallway. Doesn't need the nade if he gets the lightning. By the way, everyone's outside. You get enough kills with his lightning or just in the round. Well, 1, you win the round. 2, you get closer to the Hellstorm. I'm cool with that. 4v2, even still. Just needs to stay alive to guarantee the round, but John goes on the flank. He doesn't even get traded. Yes, he does. Major Maniac takes him down. But this is LG, almost certainly going to go up 3-1.
37 seconds on the clock. Gunless, Slacked, and Classic alive for LG. Major Maniac, the lone man for Gen.G. Has to, of course, plant the bomb if he wants to extend the round. Not even going to have a chance. Classic, again with a rampart, finds the pick. LG extend their lead to 2.
And this is just tough. It's just big plays coming out from different players from LG. Consistently in the search and destroy. They have just completely converted their gameplay. And one thing to say for LG is they go from Vegas, and their worst game mode by a mile was Control. Coming in the Pro League, they turned it into their best. I don't know what kind of time and effort they have put into their search and destroy, but you see they're making adjustments with the Rampart. They're making nice clutches even when they're getting picked, and it does not hurt when Gunless is 6-0 and has a lightning strike.
That's the key. You can use that lightning post plant. You could even use it right now. Ping, force them back away. That's the game plan. Nade out and Connector already 4v4. It was Havoc that drew first blood and instantly got traded out. For Gen.G, it was about just reacting as quickly as possible. Bomb starts to go down. Pingless lightning still available. Envoy will pick up Slacked and Connector, and that's a big kill, but John was there to trade instantly. Classic peeks up, he shuts down Nagafen. Again, man advantage, never mind 2v2, as Marks finds the pick onto Classic. 30 seconds, but you still have to defuse the bomb.
Well, and so long as Gunless stays alive, he can get to the back of the map. Of course, he wants to get the kills just so we can get the Hellstorm, but if he's alive, you win the round. Eventually, they make the call. Back up, you got the lightning strike. He's probably going to have to call it in quickly as possible, and actually,
a 3-round
if he calls it in now and doesn't get the kills because he can't ping, if they survive, someone can hot bomb right away and then just watch Connector. Major Maniac trying to hunt him down, but it looks like they just don't have enough time. No one hops on bomb, and of course, John gets the kill anyway, so I think an opportunity might have been there for Gen.G. Well, a horrible situation to have to deal with.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Using the lightning, though, perfect for them, trying to secure a big round cushion. And Gen.G, they've tried to answer, they've tried to mix things up, give us different strats, and it goes back to the point I had game 2. Is this really the effect of not having Spacely on the squad? What you're seeing here is their search and destroy performances. I don't want to necessarily say plummet, because some of them have been close, but definitely not the flawless Gen.G we're used to seeing when it comes to this game mode.
And again, Gunless, the obvious main factor as to why they use a lightning strike, win a round.
He's not died yet, actually. Chance he's 7-0.
And he's got the lightning strike. You can use it for the lightning strike to get the round. You can use the Hellstorm to get a round. And of course, the TAC 5 is going to help out. He's got a War Machine if he needs. Gunless just playing for KD at this point.
Yeah, why not?
Normal needs to stop getting these kills because you got to feed the teammate. Make him look good.
Former watching the corridor. John now getting a little adventurous, pushing over towards the lobby side. For Gen.G, they need to back down, but this, it's a must-win round here for Gen.G.
I mean, all you have to do right now is watch the mid-corridor. Calling the Hellstorm and forces him inside. He got nades out as well. As long as you don't fall, which the Rampart not able to do the job, but the Hellstorm is still going to come into effect. You got players for LG top hallway and can't even get there in time. One player able to stay alive, but John, of course, gets a kill fed to him. Nagafen for the 1v-none. He's going to fall. LG.
This is a bloodbath.
They're just making this look easy, Ben.
This is way too simple. Way too simple, as it was in game 2, if you remember. LG just outsmarting Gen.G right now. You're tasked with a 5-1 search and destroy comeback. Again, loser of this series will meet Optic Gaming in the losers bracket.
And the winner plays E6. This has been one of the weirdest tournaments we've had. This has been one of the weirdest series we've had, where Gen.G, the S&D Wizards, win both hardpoints in incredibly clutch fashion and are getting obliterated in the search. I don't know what to believe, Ben.
Neither do I. Neither do I. Could we potentially see a heroic comeback? The problem for Gen.G is the utility that LG have. You still have Gunless with a War Machine. Slack, oh, there it is, he's actually used it. Slack with the Grab Slam, of course. First blood for John. And this round should pretty much be it. 4 versus 3 with LG just being so good. I mean, John's getting streaks now as well. Whenever they've had the man advantage, they haven't thrown anything away. They've not even given a sniff to Gen.G. Naga tries to make the play, but now John has a Hellstorm. Honestly, just call it in. Call out the Gen.G players if nothing else. If you don't get the kills, you can hover. Bleed time off the clock. Perfectly done from him. And it all comes down to Major Maniac and Mox to try and keep Gen.G in the winner's bracket. Team kill with a trophy, but even that isn't enough to help. Major Maniac 1v3. Good luck. Have fun. John toying with his food. Formal cleans up the kill. LG advance on in the winner's bracket.
And that is a scary side as well, because if any teams are sitting and watching this, like E6, who else, or LG gets to play against, do you want to play them on gridlock control? How are you going to deal with the Rampart? You have to think about so many different things, because LG just brought a ton to the table.
I'm actually super interested to see how that series goes, because I think if there's a team that can kind of match the creativity of LG, E6 is up there. Not afraid of mixing things up themselves, and of course they will have had time to actually watch how that series developed, because I believe they were on Bravo. They 3-0'd their series, so they were done and dusted as that one went all the way to a Game 5. Congratulations once again to LG. They advance on. They'll meet E6 later on in the day. For Gen.G, it's bad news. They have to face the reigning champs in the losers bracket, Optic Gaming, and we'll be back after this.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL. Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL. And Jack in the Box, the official restaurant of the CWL.
fallen out of that winner's bracket, losing to Luminosity Gaming, where they will now, later on in the day, go up against Optic Gaming in that loser bracket. Not going to be a fun time for them, I'm sure. But of course, your death is back, Nameless, Pac-Man, and Study. You know, Study, it took until the game 5, but LG did it.
Yeah, I'm happy LG pulled it out, but I want to talk about Gen.G. Simple fact that Pro League, you were 9-0 in Search and Destroy. Now, if you're asking me, I personally don't see a reason why you should have made a change. 5 days before coming to a tournament, you end up first in your division. Okay, the S&D was basically your cement wall. You basically just sat on that, depended on it the entire time. You won 3 rounds that entire series in S&D. I don't really know what's going on with them, but that's just something I don't expect, and I simply don't have an answer to the reason why they would make that change.
I mean, my thing about, you know, the new Gen.G is, you know, they're really good at hardpoint. We're seeing them win their hardpoints, and that's what happens when you pick up a player like Envoy. But my worry for them was they risk losing their chemistry and their clutch factor, being able to win those rounds in Search, and that's what led to them having that 9-0 record in Search and Destroy. And now they're losing 2 in a series. They're barely picking up rounds, and you know, Search and Destroy is one of those game modes that, you know, a lot of pros say you can't really learn it. Hardpoint's what you can learn. You can get better at over the course of the test of time. So Gen.G, they're going to have to go maybe just steal some strats going forward, change everything up, because clearly it's not working right now in Search and Destroy.
Well, there are positives from LG though, right? Game 2, Formal put on one of those superstar performances. On those LG retakes, he was phenomenal. He had to have absolutely smoked like 2 or 3 people coming through showers with an ICR. That's tough to do. And then game 5, it was Gunless and John. They both put up superstar performances. Gunless had the streaks immediately. They just looked really good in Search.
6-2, 6-1.
I mean, that's impressive, right?
That's great. That rampart, bro.
Chance is right. This is a weird tournament. I don't care what you say. That was a weird result, the way it happened. Not the fact that LG won. We know that they have that talent. But the fact that they beat Gen.G in 2 searches, and they dominated both of those searches. It's just strange.
I think what you needed out of Luminosity was you needed John or Classic to pick it up big time and start to slay. And, you know, John played a good series, but Classic for me stepped up big time. He was getting so many impactful kills on every single map, especially in that control. He was so good. And then in the Search and Destroy with that rampart, just picking up those one-on-one kills and playing his life, waiting for his teammates to help. The teamwork was there, and that's what LG was waiting for this whole time, for their teamwork to come together. And we saw it throughout that series.
Let's take a look at our winner's bracket, see how things are going there. Again, Study, as we did say, Gen.G has fallen down into the loser's bracket, and Luminosity will face E6 later.
Well, E6, 3-0ing Reciprocity. I'm pretty sure I watched Frosty. He had like 7K damage one
He
map.
went off every map.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Frosty is one hell of a game, man. 7K damage in the hardpoint, double digits and top damage in the Search, and then a solid game 3. Like, that's a great performance from a guy who's transitioning to a new title. I mean, these guys are the real deal.
I mean, yeah, that was E6. Like when they first popped up on my radar, they were just a super good hardpoint team, and you know they weren't that good at Search and Destroy. And you know, going into that series versus Reciprocity, who's been good at Search, they 6-2 them, right? And you're winning your respawns, you're winning your hardpoints, you're getting big performances out of Frosty, and then you got Kismet who can go off as well. Like E6 are absolutely a threat, but looking at Luminosity in that E6 match, like I don't know, Luminosity kind of have the blessed bracket going for them.